This is Charles COO with TravelMole TV with David Shackleton, who's the Chief Operating Officer for Dusit International. I want to welcome.
Thank you.
Allow me to give a little preface to this.
Please.
Dusit started in the late 70s.
Correct.
The opening in Dusit Thani, and I stayed there several times in early 80s. You have another, you opened the first kind of resort conference hotel in Pattaya. Must have been 90s sometimes.
91.
91, stayed there for a conference. And you opened the D2, Dusit D2 brand in Chiang Mai. I think this would be about maybe 8-10 years ago.
Correct. Correct.
And stay there. Kind of a nice boutique, or at least I thought had the blue or some very interesting color scheme and furniture. You have some new brands you're going to tell us about. I don't know about, but the one thing has stuck with me since the early 80s, since I first walked in and stayed at the Dusit, and this is the case, I think, the Dusit reputation around the world, it's the Thai theme. It's the whole persona surrounding facilities, services, personnel, management is Thai.
Yes, yes. And even internationally, we, as we were talking earlier, we try to imbue all our hotels with that Thai hospitality, which actually is almost universally accepted.
Yes, for anybody who's certainly stayed, visited Thailand, or heard their friends who have, everybody know about how lovely the people are. And anybody who's tasted the Thai food or tried the spa, that's world renowned as well. And that's been the theme through all your brand expansions around the world, isn't it?
Correct. And that theme, when we look at, we're a relatively small company, and you're up against some major international properties, and maybe some significant international brands with Starwood, IHG, Marriott, etc. So the way we do try to differentiate ourselves is by offering that Thai hospitality, or that Thainess, within each of the hotels, whether it's in Thailand, which is obvious, but even internationally, we have identified which areas we need to have that Thai emblem, that Thainess.
Quick roundup of your brands right now. Dusit.
We have Dusit Princess, which is the kind of upper mid-scale. We have D2, which is the more contemporary, smaller, fashion to the younger audience, and then we have Devrana as well, which is the upper upscale brand, smaller, usually in resorts, etc. But really, the engine at the moment is either Dusit Thani or more recently the D2 brand.
And I want to get right to, I'm going to just run through a few other facts. Sure. I know, because I want to get in about the company, one other thing. So you're mainly in Thailand, Singapore, Maldives. You either wholly own it or have good equity stakes. Correct. Versus management contracts.
Yes.
Far from Egypt to throughout China.
Pasadena,
Guam. You have the
Nairobi.
Joint venture in India with the Bird Group,
yes.
Mrs. Bhatia, my friend,
yes.
And sons. What I want to talk about is throughout all this growth and everything,
right.
Everybody wanted a piece of that Thai persona, the service, that has become so renowned under Dusit International.
Right.
And everybody, as one of your colleagues was saying, once one of your general managers.
Yes, it's true, very true.
And part of that whole thing is that your founder, the mother and the son who's running it right now, who you report to, saw a long time ago the need, or the desire, number one, and the need to open hospitality schools and culinary schools.
Correct.
And now they have become, not only in Thailand, but throughout the region, the source of great hoteliers, chefs.
Yes.
Tie this all together for me. How all of that is tying in for Dusit, for the hospitality and food industry, as well as your own growth.
Absolutely. And we talked about differentiation to the Thainess, but also we found certainly in the time that I've been with the company, which is almost 2 years, we're finding that owners now and developers are coming to us and are interested almost as much in the school aspect and tying in the school aspect to the hotel, because it's a natural feeder into the hotels, where historically, not just in Asia, but kind of globally, there is a great shortage of skilled staff. So this is a kind of natural thing for us to do, to continue to develop our education arm. And we're very serious about it. We talked about Myanmar. Catherine, I talked to you about Myanmar, about the opportunities there. Guam, we talked about the opportunities there. We're presently in negotiations with doing a second school in the Philippines, and we're tied in with Lausanne College as far as that one is concerned. We have this
degree program with Lausanne in Switzerland.
And we have the degree programs, of course, here in Thailand as well. But we're more known at the moment for the culinary programs for Cordon Bleu, etc., etc. We're doing a tie-in with the Japanese culinary school and with the Italian culinary school.
So they see this not only as hotel management, possibly some equity, but the fact that you're going to create the infrastructure to constantly have a supply of trained or interns.
Yes, absolutely. And we take just in our corporate office alone, we take up to about 20 interns a year. Never mind the interns that we provide to the other hotels in Thailand and also throughout the company.
How many properties roughly in the past couple of years, properties in how many countries did you open in? And how many do you have planned for the next couple, 2-3 years?
Well, we've had a couple of delays this year, but next year we have Pasadena online, which will probably be, at the moment, I think mid-2014. We have Nairobi, which should be in the first quarter 2014. We have Guam, which will be possibly second quarter at the moment in 2014. We have Hainan, which is 2014. And we have Doha, which will be 2000.
I saw the list. There's a couple of dozen.
Expansive.
There's at least 2 dozen for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and we have this joint venture also in China, where we are actually, in the short time that has been in existence, is showing great growth. In fact, we've opened a hotel, a D2, this year, and we will do a rebranding of a hotel to a Dusit this year in China.
From a management standpoint, you report to the CEO, who is a son of the founder, who's still active, somewhat active. To what extent is this a pressure cooker corporate environment, or is it like the persona that one kind of feels around the Dusit group to be sort of like smooth as silk?
It's a combination, actually, but there is certainly that Thainess within the corporate culture and understanding what is important to Chanin, who is the CEO, and also what is important to the history and traditions of this company. And I think it wouldn't be unfair to say that we are not as kind of cutthroat, perhaps, as some of the other companies that I may have.
It's a big major business, your public business.
Yeah, but there again, as we grow, we are also having to become a little more international and a little less Thai-centric. And that is a transition we're going through at the moment.
And some of the children of the CEO now?
his Chanin's son is in the business. In fact, he is in charge of our investments in the Philippines and opening the property in Singapore. His wife is in charge of purchasing. She's vice president of purchasing. And he has two other daughters who I believe are more inclined to be banking. At least one of them is going to, I think, is going to be inclined to do more kind of financial and banking. Now, whether she will come into the business, I don't know. She's just about to embark on her
So
master's.
definitely there'll be family following for generations.
Absolutely, and actually we have been talking about the preparation of family members for the third generation.
For those who are looking at this video, search on TravelMole.tv for Dusit, and also watch the video of a presentation, a PowerPoint, more detailed presentation by Catherine McNabb, who's the Director of Sales and Marketing for the group. David Shackleton, Chief Operating Officer, thank you so much for spending the time with me.
Thank you indeed for your time.